Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else is moving ahead while you're standing still? Maybe your friends seem more successful. Maybe people younger than you have already achieved the things you're still dreaming about. Maybe social media reminds you every day that someone is getting married, buying a home, building a business, traveling the world, or living a life that appears perfect. And quietly, deep inside, a painful question begins to grow. What is wrong with me? Why am I so far behind? If this feeling has ever visited your heart, then stay with me, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see your entire life. According to Buddhist wisdom, one of the greatest causes of suffering is comparison. Not failure, not difficulty, not uncertainty. Comparison. The moment you compare your path to someone else's path, peace disappears. The mind begins creating stories. Stories that say you're late. Stories that say you've missed your chance. Stories that say everyone else knows something you don't. But what if those stories aren't true? What if the reason you feel behind is because you've been measuring your journey with someone else's clock? Imagine standing in a forest. Around you are thousands of trees. Some are tall and ancient. Some are young and small. Some bloom in spring. Others bloom in summer. Some take years before showing their beauty. Yet none of them worry about being late. The oak tree never compares itself to the pine. The cherry blossom never envies the maple. Each grows according to its own nature, its own timing, its own purpose. Human beings are the same, yet we forget. We spend our lives staring sideways instead of forward. We obsess over where others are while losing sight of where we are meant to go. And this creates endless anxiety. The Buddha taught that suffering often comes from resisting reality. When reality says, "This is your season of learning," the ego says, "I should already be succeeding." When reality says, "This is your season of healing," the ego says, "Everyone else is ahead." When reality says, "This is your season of growth," the ego says, "I am running out of time." But reality does not argue. Reality simply unfolds. And perhaps the most liberating truth you can hear today is this: you are not behind. You are becoming. Take a moment and think about the person you were 5 years ago. What worried you then? What kept you awake at night? Many of those fears no longer matter. Many of those problems have already passed. The version of you from the past could not see what was coming, and the version of you today cannot fully see what is ahead. Yet life continues moving, quietly, patiently, wisely. This is why Buddhist teachings encourage us to trust the present moment. Not because the future doesn't matter, but because the present is where life actually happens. The future exists only as imagination. The past exists only as memory. But this breath, this moment, this heartbeat, this is real. And if you can learn to live here even for a few seconds, you begin to experience a freedom that many people spend their entire lives searching for. Think about how much energy is wasted worrying about timing. People worry they started too late. They worry they're too old, too young, too inexperienced, too uncertain. Yet some of the most meaningful transformations happen after years of struggle. A seed spends a long time underground before anyone sees growth. From the outside, nothing appears to be happening. But beneath the surface, everything is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is developing. Life is preparing itself. Your life may be in a similar season. A season invisible to others. A season where progress cannot yet be measured. A season where your roots are growing. And because the world celebrates visible success, invisible growth often goes unnoticed. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us something profound. Invisible growth is still growth. The patience you are learning, the resilience you are building, the compassion you are developing, the wisdom you are gaining through hardship, these things matter. In fact, they may matter more than the achievements you are chasing, because achievements can disappear. Money comes and goes. Status rises and falls. Recognition fades. But inner peace becomes part of who you are. No one can take it from you. The modern world rarely teaches this. Instead, it teaches urgency. Faster. More. Bigger. Sooner. But urgency is often the enemy of peace. The Zen masters understood this deeply. They knew that forcing life creates tension. Trusting life creates harmony. Have you ever noticed how a river flows? It doesn't panic. It doesn't rush. It doesn't compare itself to another river. It simply follows its path, and eventually it reaches the ocean. Imagine how different your life would feel if you trusted your path the same way. Not passive, not lazy, but peaceful. Working toward your goals without believing your worth depends on reaching them. Growing without constantly judging your pace. Living without constantly checking where everyone else is. For many people, this sounds impossible, because comparison has become a habit, and habits shape perception. The mind becomes trained to search for evidence that it's failing. You see someone else's success and immediately feel inadequate. You see someone else's happiness and immediately question your own life. You see someone else's progress and immediately forget your own. This is why mindfulness is so powerful. Mindfulness interrupts the habit. It creates space between the event and the reaction. Instead of thinking, "They're ahead of me," you begin noticing, "Their journey is theirs. Mine is mine." Instead of thinking, "I'm running out of time," you begin noticing, "This moment is enough." Instead of thinking, "I should be somewhere else," you begin noticing, "I am exactly where life is teaching me to be." And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. Pressure begins to dissolve. The nervous system relaxes. The heart softens. The mind becomes quieter. You stop fighting your life. And when you stop fighting your life, healing begins. Many people believe healing happens when circumstances improve. Buddhism teaches something different. Healing begins when resistance ends. Not when everything becomes perfect, but when you stop arguing with what is. When you stop demanding that your timeline match someone else's. When you stop treating yourself as a problem that needs fixing. Because perhaps you are not broken. Perhaps you are simply growing in a way that cannot yet be seen. And sometimes the most beautiful chapters of life begin after the moments that felt like failure. The closed door. The unexpected delay. The relationship that ended. The opportunity that disappeared. The dream that took longer than expected. First, these moments feel like setbacks. Later, they often reveal themselves as redirections. Life has a mysterious way of guiding us toward lessons we didn't know we needed. And the path rarely looks straight while we're walking it. It only makes sense when we look back. So if today you feel behind, if today you feel lost, if today you feel forgotten by time, remember this. The flower does not bloom because it is rushed. The moon does not rise because it is pressured. The seasons do not change because they are forced. Everything unfolds when the conditions are ready. And perhaps your moment is not late. Perhaps it is simply approaching. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. As we continue this journey together, consider a question that most people never ask themselves. What if the delay you fear is actually protecting you? In Zen teachings, there is a simple understanding that everything arrives when the conditions are ready. Not when the ego demands it. Not when society expects it. Not when comparison tells you it should happen, but when the conditions are right. Think about a mountain climber. If they rush to the summit without preparation, the journey becomes dangerous. Their body is not ready. Their mind is not ready. Their skills are not ready. The mountain has not changed. The timing has. Life often works the same way. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually preparation. The opportunity is coming. But first, patience must develop. Wisdom must grow. Strength must deepen. Compassion must mature. Because receiving something before you are ready can create suffering just as easily as receiving it too late. Many people spend years wishing for a different life. Then one day they achieve exactly what they wanted. And surprisingly, they discover they are still unhappy. Why? Because external success cannot heal internal emptiness. The Buddha repeatedly pointed toward this truth. Peace is not something you achieve. Peace is something you uncover. It already exists beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the endless mental stories. Imagine a lake on a windy day. The water becomes disturbed. The surface becomes chaotic. Reflections disappear. But when the wind settles, the lake naturally becomes clear. The clarity was never gone. It was simply hidden. Your mind is the same. The peace you seek may already be present beneath the turbulence of comparison and worry. This is why meditation remains one of the most powerful practices in Buddhist tradition. Meditation is not about becoming someone else. It is not about forcing thoughts to disappear. It is about returning home to yourself. Again and again, breath after breath, moment after moment. When you sit quietly and observe your thoughts, something remarkable begins to happen. You realize that not every thought deserves your attention. You realize that fear is often just a visitor. You realize that anxiety speaks loudly but does not always speak truthfully. And slowly, the grip of comparison begins to weaken. You stop measuring your worth by accomplishments. You stop measuring your value by speed. You stop measuring your life by someone else's timeline. Instead, you begin living from a deeper place, a calmer place, a wiser place, a place that understands that every human being carries a unique path. The world often rewards visible achievements, but spiritual growth rewards inner transformation. One is seen by others, the other is felt by the soul. And sometimes the most important progress in your life is completely invisible. Maybe you have become more patient. Maybe you react less to negativity. Maybe you forgive more easily. Maybe you understand yourself better than you did a year ago. Maybe you finally allow yourself to rest without guilt. These victories may never appear on social media, but they are real. They are meaningful. They are signs of awakening. In Zen philosophy, there is a deep appreciation for simplicity. A quiet morning, a warm cup of tea, the sound of rain, the feeling of breathing deeply, the presence of a peaceful mind. Modern culture often teaches us to chase extraordinary experiences. Zen teaches us to notice ordinary miracles. The sunlight entering through a window, the comfort of silence, the gift of another day, the opportunity to begin again. Because every day offers a new beginning. No matter how many mistakes were made yesterday, no matter how lost you felt last year, no matter how uncertain the future appears, this moment offers a fresh start. And perhaps that is one of life's greatest gifts. You do not need to become a new person. You only need to become more present, more aware, more compassionate toward yourself. Many people are kind to everyone except themselves. They offer patience to strangers, understanding to friends, forgiveness to loved ones. Yet when it comes to their own journey, they become harsh critics. Nothing feels good enough. Nothing feels fast enough. Nothing feels successful enough. But imagine speaking to yourself the way you would speak to someone you deeply love. Would you tell them they are a failure because their path looks different? Would you tell them they are running out of time? Would you tell them they should compare themselves to everyone around them? Of course not. You would remind them of their strengths. You would encourage them. You would recognize their growth. You would tell them that life unfolds differently for everyone. Offer yourself that same kindness, because healing begins where self-judgment ends. And the more compassion you bring to your journey, the lighter the journey becomes. There is another powerful lesson hidden within delayed timing. When things arrive instantly, we often take them for granted. When things require patience, we learn appreciation. The waiting teaches us. The uncertainty teaches us. The struggle teaches us. The silence teaches us. Even the moments that feel empty are shaping who we are becoming. This does not mean every difficulty is pleasant. It does not mean every challenge is easy. But it does mean that suffering can become wisdom when we meet it with awareness. The Zen masters often reminded their students that life is not happening to them. Life is happening through them. Every experience becomes part of their awakening. Every challenge becomes part of their growth. Every season becomes part of their story. And your story is still being written. The chapter you are living now is not the final chapter. The uncertainty you feel now is not the final destination. The confusion you feel now is not the final truth. There are still lessons ahead. There are still blessings ahead. There are still beautiful moments waiting to find you. One day you may look back at this season and realize it was preparing you for something greater than you could imagine. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because you became stronger, wiser, calmer, more grounded, more aligned with your authentic self. The person you are becoming may require this exact season, this exact pace, this exact journey. And that is why you do not need to panic. You do not need to race. You do not need to force your life into someone else's schedule. Trust the process. Trust the unfolding. Trust the quiet wisdom of your path. A tree does not become tall overnight. A river does not reach the ocean in a single moment. A sunrise does not appear all at once. Beauty often emerges gradually. So does growth. So does healing. So does transformation. As this message comes to an end, take a slow breath and remember these words. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing your life. You are living it. Your path is unique. Your timing is unique. Your story is unique. And there is tremendous peace in accepting that truth. Whenever doubt appears, return to the present moment. Whenever comparison appears, return to gratitude. Whenever fear appears, return to your breath. Because this moment is enough. And you are enough. Exactly as you are. Exactly where you are. Trust your timing. Trust your journey. Trust yourself. Thank you for spending these peaceful moments with me. If this message brought comfort, clarity, or healing to your heart, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Here at Soft Zen Mind, we share gentle Buddhist wisdom, mindfulness practices, peaceful reflections, emotional healing, meditation guidance, and calming teachings designed to help you live with greater peace and awareness. May your mind be calm. May your heart be light. May your journey unfold beautifully. And until next time, take care of yourself and continue walking your path with patience, wisdom, and peace. This is Soft Zen Mind,